Okay, this is going to be a continuum of the previous video, the third perspective. Now, the way I see it, this is God. God is one. God is one. But God has many faces, many aspects. They throw around the word God too easily. As I said in the last video, we have 4 elements. Those are God. The gods are the forces of nature. And then each one of them is triune. They have 3 faces each. But they're one. They're just one. And we're right here in the middle. The sun, the moon, the stars, they all go around the circle, but they're going around the earth. So we are center stage. And all of these elements and their 3 different aspects are within us. They're represented on this earth, on the stage, by us. We are actors in the play. In alchemical astrology, because it's ruled by Saturn, it's done in 30-year increments. You don't just have a natal chart. You have a Saturn return and a second Saturn return. The 3 aspects of yourself. When you are growing in from a young adult into maturity, from a child to a mature adult, to an elder. Now, and each of us carry different parts. We get 7. We have 7 chakras. We get 7 out of this. I do include the outer planets when looking at particular things, but they're not the god of forces. The elements are the forces, especially water and fire, especially when they team up. And they're teaming up within us. So when they team up within us, it starts manifesting itself in this world. We're also in an age of groupthink. It just amplifies this. To me, each house is like a stage. And we're in the middle, and there are these stages. And right about here, which is east and west. I know it looks funny, but this is where it really is. South, north. My N's always end up looking like W's. Now, every age is represented. And it's all being projected. The stars are lights, and they project, and the planets and sun, they all reflect or project light down here. And now there's a great big difference in the moon and the sun when you look at it like reflect and project. Project is a project. They're projecting a project, but the moon reflects and the planet reflects. They don't have light of their own, but the stars project, like a projector, a movie projector. And they're all projecting down here and manifest within us. They manifest within us. So to know thyself, to take up your cross and follow me daily, you need to know where you're at in the scheme of things, who you are. I know who I am. I have my moon and Venus are in Aquarius. My Uranus and Pluto are in Leo. The Sun, Mars, and Saturn all in Capricorn. Mercury in Sagittarius. Jupiter in Pisces. And Neptune in Libra. And that's my part. This is the part I'm playing. The moon is how other people see me, your outward reflection, and my heart. They're fixed air. That's the zodiac itself is ruled by fixed air, by Saturn, the higher self. You need to know each one of these gods. I gotta stop for Kelly. Sorry about that. Okay, back to actors on a stage. Let's look at the cast of characters that we're dealing with now. We have Jupiter and Mercury on the mutable cross. We have Jupiter and Mercury on the mutable cross. So on the cross that's mutable, we're dealing with Jupiter and Mercury. They're the gods of this age. But we're fixing to do a changing of the guards. And we're going to be moving to, normally, every age has 4 players. The mutable cross is the only cross that one character is playing 2 parts. Jupiter is playing the part of fire and water. And Mercury is playing the part of heaven and earth. But in Aquarius, we're going to move. Now, there are 2 other gods, right? Because they only play 2 parts. What they've done is brought Aries and Libra. Here's the 2 parts they're playing, and here's Mars and Libra to complete the other 2 characters. Do you see it? We should have Sagittarius as the resident fire god, but instead we have Aries, a resident fire god played by Mars. We should have a resident Gemini here, but we have Libra as a stand-in playing that part, because Mercury's busy over here in Virgo and Jupiter's busy over here in Pisces, playing the woman with the fish, the fisher woman. You have to look at the whole thing. Virgo is a crow, some say the raven. It's the goblet, which is the chalice, the cup of Christ, whatever, the Holy Grail. You need to know all the symbolism before you go reading these scriptures and think you're going to understand it. And if you don't look up, you ain't never going to understand it, because everything that's going on down here has been written in the stars and rewritten this way. But in the last video, I laid it out in a linear way, not in a cyclical way. So you can see how big of a jump we're fixing to have. And how when the planets, like they crowded up in Capricorn and Aries for all that fire to start going off and all these volcanoes going crazy. And it's just going to escalate through June minimum, and then the pressure will release as the Earth is shifting to the other side, and it'll just start releasing somewhere else. And that will continue until they bunch up again on a different cross. You got to look at all aspects of it. The cross, the pillars, the path, the way. Every perspective that you possibly can. But one of the best things you can do is to get in touch with nature. You need to know what earth feels like. You need to know what water feels like in the different houses. Now, eventually we'll get through each house, but we understand it much better when looking at it through alchemical eyes. when we know what cardinal fire is. It's war, it's rage. It must be balanced. What's it balanced by? What's cardinal fire balanced by? First and foremost, air. Cardinal fire, Aries. What's it balanced by? Air, Libra, cardinal air. But air fuels the fire, right? Fire cannot exist without air. No oxygen, no fire. Well, there are different kinds of fire, because in the Aramaic, this word also means light. Voila. And so the fire that don't need air, light. So you need to know what that feels like. Well, when these are in balance, they're very powerful. That one of the most powerful, because it's the masculine axis of the cardinal cross. It's the most powerful line in the universe. In our universe. This is our one verse. We get one verse. We get one go around the wheel. So it has to have balance. And that balance is Capricorn, Cancer, the moon, and Saturn. The two that are being demonized the most, especially on YouTube. They call it the Saturn moon what? Trap or something? No, this is what we need to balance this out. The feminine must balance the masculine. Masculine, feminine. Right now, we are in an age that's feminine. It's a feminine age, but it has a masculine side and a feminine side. And then that thing, which is just, it's a broken cross. This isn't even the cardinal cross. It needs to be complete. It needs that. What's that? That's Capricorn and Cancer. The two parts they took away. We understand that in the mythos when Moses and his brother Aaron did away with his sister, Miriam. This comes from the word water, the moon. And they got rid of her because it's a misunderstood doctrine. Moses just left with the ark. That's all he had. He took one house. All he did was learn one religion and ran off to it. But he forgot the other 11. They're not represented at all. Because Aries is a very jealous god. Why? Libra. He's not balanced. So Libra becomes jealousy. The bad aspect, the dual nature. The thing is to find balance within ourselves. And that's hard to do when you know your cards. A lot of you are holding cards. Your cards are where your planets are. That you're not balanced. You have these Mars retrogrades in your natal chart, or one of your Saturn returns, and you're depressed as hell. And in certain houses, you can even be suicidal. Bipolar. Well, what do you do about that? You find the balance. What's opposite of it? And then you balance that with its crossbar. And that's how you've taken up your cross and carry it daily. Are we starting to see it yet? All right, let's talk. When you talk about the chakra system, the planets, that's what we call the 7 old gods in the Game of Thrones. Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn with the Earth. Now, the new gods are the gods of the forces, the fortresses, and that's just earth, water, air, and fire. The gods of forces, especially water and fire. Those are the two main characters in play because we're in Pisces, and he's battling with Aries, Jupiter and Mars. But it is Jupiter that rules the water and the fire, and Pisces and Sagittarius. This is where we are now for 10 ages, from Sagittarius all the way through Pisces. Did I do that right? I did that backwards. Let me, we got to be going the other way. From Sagittarius all the way to Pisces, to the end of Pisces, they have worshipped. From the beginning of Sagittarius to the end of Pisces, where we are now, everybody worshipped the seven. Now, the powers that be were banking on the god of forces, the four elements. The battle of fire and ice, and the battle for heaven on earth. The gods of forces. I guess you could do it like this. This symbol, heaven on earth. This symbol, fire and ice. And they took down these guys. They took down the seven. They blew them up. The jealous god blew them up. Actually, they represented Leo, the Lannisters, Cersei Lannister, but she was a woman scorned. I'd love to do her chart, but neither one of these win. None of them win in the end, because we come to this age, the beginning of the next aeon of a real heaven on earth, Aquarius and Capricorn. The three-eyed raven won, and air rules the next age. Air, Aquarius, and Libra. Where am I at? This one's flipped backwards. Libra and Gemini were ruled by words like soul. So the next god is the god of our higher self in Aquarius. And like I keep telling you, in Aries you had the law. And Pisces you get mercy and grace. But here it will be the law of equivalent exchange. It'll be fair. No more nepotism, no more nothing. We'll be balanced and fixed. We'll be stable. The Nag Hammadi calls it the unshakeable race of humanity. The immovable man. The immovable race. Unshakable. And he's just talking about the fixed cross. Yeah, and our, of course, the element of air and the Tao. I am the truth, I am the way, I am the life. No man cometh to the Father but by me. But he's within you. You can't pick the left side or the left side or the right side. You must pick the inside. Your pineal gland is the door. I knock. If any man open and receiveth me, I will dine. I will sup with him. I stand at the door and knock. And that's where we're at. And it's not what Christianity said it was. It's not what Islam says it is. It's not what Judaism says it is. It's not what none of it. None of the Abrahamic religions, even the others. We haven't, the truth, the last time we heard the truth was in Egypt, because that was the last time we've been on the fixed cross. But they corrupted it. It was corrupted when it got started. The Babylonian priesthood came in and built it before it happened naturally. But they still can't control it. They're doing everything they can to control this wheel in the sky. And it's just not going to work for them. You can't. They would have to destroy the earth to take it away. And in the process of trying to destroy it, they're going to cause her to open as the pineal gland of the cosmic mind. The sun's the masculine right eye, the moon is the feminine left eye, and that puts the earth in the middle. All right, there are your gods, the old, the new, and the unexpected one that nobody could see but the three-eyed raven.